I cannot rely on second-hand reports, so I have come here to see for myself. I am Oedipus the King! Everybody knows my name. You there, you appear knowledgeable and therefore can inform me. Is this a sudden panic or a demand for action? I would do anything in my power to help these people. I would have to be heartless to ignore these pleas.
King Oedipus, leader of Thebes, look at the people here. The young, barely out of education. The old, who have seen our country through wars. And the workers, who are always doing what they can to help those in need. We have all come here today. But there are thousands more flooding the streets up and down this land. They are desperate for help and answers. This country is like a warship, defeated in battle, wallowing aimlessly. The climate of this land has become extreme and is destroying our crops. All generations, but particularly the elderly, are plagued by disease. We are struggling to breathe. It is as though the gods have sent a demon-like illness to choke our people. If we don't do something soon, the cities we have built will be empty, and the underworld will be filled with the people of Thebes, weeping for themselves and their families. If we choose to come to you for help, it is not because we think of you as a god. It is because you are our leader, and meant to be the brightest among men. We have not forgotten that it was you, as a young man arriving in Thebes from Corinth, who solved the riddle of the Sphinx and freed us from its tyranny. That's why, world-famous Oedipus, we are asking for your help once more. Please, find us some remedy. Your genius has saved us once. Save us again. You've solved terrible problems in the past, and that gives us confidence now. You have a reputation to live up to. A city that is empty because its people are dead no longer has use for a king.
My citizens, believe me when I say that I know all that you are suffering, why you have come here, and what you ask of me. I suffer as much, perhaps more even than you do. You each carry your own personal burdens of sorrow. I carry them too, and my own, and the country's. My eyes, like yours, are bloodshot with far too frequent crying. I have walked all the corridors of my palace and searched all the secret spaces of my mind for what is best to do. I have not been idle. I have taken the sensible step of sending my brother-in-law, Creon, to consult with the oracle at Delphi and ask what word or action might help. He should be here by now, but his mission has clearly taken longer than it should.
No man can say better than that, nor upon a better cue. Look, I see Creon coming through the palace gardens.
Whatever the news, he is certainly smiling. Please God, let the news be good. Creon, dear brother-in-law, what was the message? What is the solution?
It is good news, or it will be good news if all ends well. However, it may be painful to begin with.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry at that response. What does it mean?
Do you want me to say it here, in public, or should we go inside?
I think these people have a right to hear. Whilst they suffer, I suffer too. Their lives concern me more than my own.
The answer is straightforward, and the command is simple. There is something unclean in our city, born here, living here. It pollutes everything, and it must be driven out.
How can this infection be purified? What is it?
By banishment, or by blood for blood. The oracle said it was bloodshed that caused this thing that is destroying us.
Whose blood was shed?
The man who was king prior to your arrival. His name was Laius.
Ah, yes. I have heard the name, but I never knew the man.
He was killed, so the oracle's meaning is clear. The murderers of Laius must be found and brought to justice.
But Laius died a long time ago now. The trail will have gone cold. Where should we begin?
Here, the gods said here. Search and you will not be disappointed.
Where did it happen, this unsolved murder? Was it here, in the palace, or in the country, or whilst he was travelling abroad?
He left the city to go on a trip, but he never returned, except in a coffin.
And who was with him? Were there witnesses? There must be evidence, some scrap, some rumour.
There was one servant who escaped. He said that he ran so fast that he could only remember one thing.
What thing? Tell me! The smallest clue might lead to others.
He said it was not one man that attacked them, but rather a whole band of robbers that murdered the king that they met on the road.
Robbers? Would they dare to attack a king? They may have been paid to do it. Some fevered with political ambition, perhaps.
We thought so too at first. No one pursued it, as Laius was dead and we had other troubles occupying our minds. That monster, the Sphinx, had arrived and was killing us. It was a question of survival. We had no time for solving mysteries, even regicide.
Well then, I will launch the investigation now. We will shed fresh light into every corner of this dark and murky business. Thank you, Creole, for reminding us what we had forgotten, our duty to the dead. It's in my interest, too, to solve this crime, not only for Laius' sake, but for my own protection. This unknown killer could strike at me next. Justice for Laius and my own protection go hand in hand. So, in the meantime, dear citizens, stay alert, stay safe, keep your distance, wash your hands, wear a mask. Hopefully, we will soon learn the truth and save our city. We must. Or we will be destroyed.
Crayon, question.
The king has promised everything we came to ask for. I pray he finds a cure soon. We must protect our city.
I don't know what to believe anymore. Is the oracle right? Should we trust this approach? Oh, please, someone, send us an antidote to ease this plague.
Our agonies are indescribable. The whole country is dying. We're struggling to fight this unseen enemy.
And the death toll goes up and up. People are despairing, weeping. It's like a fire, all-consuming.
The smell of death is everywhere, but masked by the constant cleaning of hands. Remember,
20 seconds, please. Joyful clapping has been driven from our city. The only song now is the moan of the dying and the whimper of fear.
And I miss the thrill of festivals, parties and celebrations.
let's hold out hope though.
The solution will come.
I have heard your worries. Now listen to me. If you act as I tell you to act, follow my instructions in every detail, then your worries will soon disappear. I speak as an outsider. I was not even a citizen of Thebes when Laius was killed, so I need your help. I know nothing of Laius' death, or the murder, or the murderer. Therefore, I make this public proclamation. If anyone here knows the killer's name, they must speak up. Here and now. perhaps one of you here is the killer. If that man is here and gives himself up now, it will be better for him. There will be no capital punishment. The harshest sentence I will pass will be exile. No greater punishment than that. Or perhaps one of you has insider information. Perhaps you are aware that the killer was a foreigner. Give me this information, and I will see that you are well paid. If, however, that man is here and refuses to come forward, or if anyone, out of fear for themselves or their friends or their family, ignores this opportunity to come forward and is found to be perverting the course of justice by harbouring that someone or themselves, then I will pass sentence on them now. It does not matter who it is. I, Oedipus, as your leader, forbid anyone to speak with or give shelter to that person. Every household will turn on them as the perpetrator of this horrendous crime that has brought this disease and great suffering upon us. I curse the murderer. May they bear the mark of their crime for the rest of their days and suffer as we have suffered, alone and isolated from friends, family, and their home. Let them be miserable. I will go even further and say that I do not even exclude myself in this. If I should in any way give shelter to this criminal, then let the curse that I have just uttered fall on me too. That is my sentence. And it is up to you all to see that it is fully carried out for your sake, my sake, and the sake of our plague-ridden country. I am somewhat surprised that Laerces' death was never fully investigated, especially as I am told that he was a good king and there was no overt motive for his death. I have now replaced Laerces' king. I sleep in his bed and have taken his wife as my queen. She is a bond between us, and he is a sad victim of this tragedy. My feelings for this man make me more determined to fight for him, as if he were my own father. Nothing will stop me from finding out the truth.
That curse would frighten any man. It terrifies me, and I'm not the killer. Perhaps we should consult with someone who may better understand the oracle's message. Tiresias, the blind but wise man. He has knowledge, experience, and insight. He's an expert in these matters. He more than anyone can help us now.
Ah yes, I've sent for him already. Creon suggested it. Here he comes now. Tiresias, you You have made yourself an expert in all matters. You can see the state of our country. Well, not with your eyes, but with your intellect. You will have heard my proclamation that we must find the killers of the old king, execute them or banish them. Only then this disease will leave our city. So we need your help. Help us to end this pestilence. A gifted man puts his talents to best use when in support of his fellow man.
Mine is a terrifying gift. I should have stayed at home.
That is a bizarre answer. What does it mean?
Please let me go home. Things would be better if I did. You will bear your burden, and I will bear mine.
You are trying to dodge my question. This is your country, man. You were born here.
I've heard your public proclamation. It's best for me to keep quiet.
Do you mean that you know something and are refusing to say? Look, man. Look around you. Look at these people. We are all imploring you to speak.
Because you're all blind to what I can see. I can't tell you the truth is painful. Your secret and mine.
You do know something, don't you? And you are holding back. Are you prepared to watch your whole country die?
I'm saving you from agony. And myself. Don't ask me again. Don't waste your time. I will tell you nothing.
Nothing? Do you mean it? What sort of a man are you? Absolutely heartless!
You lose your temper, make me a scapegoat, when really it is your own anger you should blame.
Do you hear him? What this man is saying? This is an insult to every one of us. Every decent citizen should be outraged.
I can't change the future. Only describe it. What will happen, whatever I say.
It is your duty to tell me what you know. If the future is set, then you must tell me.
I shall say nothing.
I understand this much. I think perhaps you were involved. Perhaps you planned the murder, did everything but commit the crime. I bet you would have done it as well if only you had eyes to see your victim.
How dare you! Fine. I will speak. You have placed this curse upon your own head. You are the evil one, the dirt that breeds disease.
You accuse me? You'll regret this, old man. Do you think your status grants you some kind of immunity?
I have no need of it. You are the murderer of the murdered king.
To my face! Twice! You will regret this.
Indulge your anger if you want. I could say more, but it would just make you angrier still.
Why not? Let us hear some more of your delusional ravings.
You still have no idea that the woman you love is not who you think she is. Your relationship is unnatural and disgusting. Your ignorance will destroy you.
Do you think you can say such things to me in public and not be punished?
The truth protects me.
The truth? What is the truth to you? You are not only blind in your eyes, but in your ears and mind as well.
I pity you. People will soon hurl the same insults in your direction. Everyone will despise you.
I see you. You know nothing. You cannot hurt me.
How can I? I'm only an old man. The prophecy would be your comeuppance.
Creole? Of course! He's the one who reported this prophecy. This is his doing, not yours.
Creon is not your enemy. You are.
All men crave political rank, wealth and power, and envies those that has it. Creon is and has been my brother-in-law, my friend. I have trusted him completely. This crown, this position, I did not plot for it, nor ask for it. The people gave it to me of their own free will. And now, this man who claims to love me is plotting to overthrow me with the help of this blind liar. And you're supposed to be all-knowing. But where were you when the monstrous Sphinx terrorized these people? Did you solve the riddle it set and save the city? You hadn't a clue, had you? But then, I came along. A young man without your wisdom or intellect, merely the wits I inherited from my mother. I solved the riddle and saved these people. And now, you and Creon hope to bump me off so that he can be king and you can help him rule. You will regret this. If you weren't such a feeble old man, I'd punish you with my fists.
Please, great leader. You have both spoken in anger and frustration. The squabbling is not helping us find a solution. Your people are still suffering.
You are in charge, but I have a right to speak my mind. I am impartial. I do not serve you or Creon. You mock my blindness. How ironic. You have eyes, but you cannot see. You cannot see who she is, the woman who loves you the most. You cannot see whose son you are. In your ignorance, you have committed the most terrible crimes against those closest to you, both living and dead. You will be cursed twice, for your father and your mother. You will be driven from this place into exile. Your eyes, once so bright with supposedly perfect vision, will become dark like mine. Everyone will know the story of the wretched Oedipus. So, vent your anger if you must. Accuse Creon of treason. But just remember, no one has committed crimes quite like yours.
I've had enough of this. I don't have to listen to any more of your nonsense. If I'd have known I'd been listening to the ravings of a delusional madman, believe me, I would have left you in peace.
What a shame. Your parents would never have treated me so badly.
Why do you keep bringing my parents into this? Who fathered me?
Today, you will father your own destruction and conceive the truth of your birth and death.
Why can't you just give me a straight answer? I have no time for your riddles.
Why not? You're a genius at riddles, are you not?
I did solve the riddle of the Sphinx, yes! But I'm tired of playing this game with you. Get out and good riddance. I don't need your help.
Let me leave you with this one thing. The man you are seeking, the man you have accused of the murder of Laius, is here. He claims to be a foreigner, but he was born here. He will learn that at great cost. From rich to poor, he will leave this place and go silently into exile forever. To his children, he is father and brother. To the woman who bore him, he is husband and son. to his father, he is the killer, and the man who has taken his place. So put your genius to work, Oedipus.
Who is this person the old man spoke of?
Tyrese uses his words that spread fear and confusion, but should we believe it?
Shh. It's best we stay out of this.
Is Oedipus the murderer? Does he have motive?
No, that's absurd. It can't be. There is no proof. And besides, Oedipus saved us. He gave us hope.
And Tiresias thinks himself an expert. But does he really know?
If there is guilt on Oedipus's part, it must be proved.
Citizens, the people I serve, I have heard that our leader has accused me of mutiny, but I am innocent. The country is on its knees. How can he believe at a time such as this that I would try and challenge his leadership? I would rather die than be accused of planning a mutiny.
He lost his temper and made wild allegations. I think he spoke without really thinking.
Did he say that I made Tiresias lie? Who could have given him that idea? Is he right in the head? Did he speak rationally, or do you think he's gone mad?
I know better than to pass any judgment on our leader's actions. I will keep quiet. Look, here he comes. You'll be able to see for yourself.
Ah, Creon. Here you are! You have a lot of nerve showing your face after what you've done. What do you want? Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'm too blind to notice your plot to overthrow me?
Can I speak? Please do not judge me until you've heard what I have to say.
You've always been a good talker, Creon, but actions speak louder than words, and I've seen evidence of your betrayal.
Will you not let me answer you?
Say what you like, but don't pretend to be innocent in all this.
Do you really think making your mind up without hearing me tell my side of the story is a sensible way of proceeding?
Do you really think that I can allow you to plot against me and do nothing, simply because you're my brother-in-law?
There is no plot, no conspiracy. What am I supposed to have done?
It was you who convinced me to send for that lying old man.
Yes, it was good advice, and I'd do it again.
Tell me, how long ago did Laius...
Laius what? I don't follow.
When the old king died? How long ago was that?
Years, I can barely remember now.
And the blind man, he was living here during this time?
Yes, he was a respected expert, known for his integrity and intellect.
And my name was never mentioned following Laius' death?
Not that I heard.
And you are quite sure that there are no inquiries made following the murder?
None.
Then why did the blind man say that I was responsible for Laius' death if he was not put up to it by you?
He said that. I have no idea. May I ask you some questions?
Of course. I have nothing to hide.
You are married to my sister, are you not?
What sort of a question is that? Yes, I am married to your sister.
And she shares your position of power and responsibility.
Of course! What's mine is hers.
And by marriage, I also have a share of power and wealth.
Yes. You always have done, which is why it is so disgusting that you're conspiring behind my back.
I have not conspired against you. I live like a king, with 0 commitments. That's enough for me. No sane man would want more. If I had your job, I'd be overwhelmed. Look at me. Everyone knows me. Everyone loves me. I think. Anyone who wants your attention first tries for mine, because they know I have influence with you. Why would I change such a favourable position? I'd be a fool to commit treason. If you want proof, go to the oracle yourself and see that my message was true. If you can find any evidence that I conspired with the blind man, condemn me to death. But please, do not accuse me on mere suspicion and without any evidence. That is not fair. A reliable friend is a precious thing. Please do not throw our friendship away. The truth will come out in the end. It is easy to point the finger and accuse a man, but it takes longer and harder to prove his innocence.
So, shall I do nothing while you plot against me to steal my power?
What do you want to do with me then? Have me banished? Kicked out?
Banished? Oh no! I want you dead!
What have I done to cause so much jealousy?
Are you that stupid that you are still pretending?
You've got it all wrong.
I know where my best interests lie.
But what about mine?
You're a traitor! You've got it all wrong. Leaders must act and make decisions.
But not ill-informed decisions.
This is my home!
This is my home! Just as much as yours!
Gentlemen, please, stop this squabbling. The Queen Jocasta is coming out of the palace. She will help sort out this situation.
What is all this shouting about? I can hear your voices from inside the palace. Aren't you ashamed of yourselves, squabbling like children over a toy? And all around you, people are suffering. You, inside now. And you go home too, Creon, till we make a private row a public spectacle.
Sister, we are family, are we not? Your husband has condemned me to death without letting me defend myself.
Indeed I have, but it was the right thing to do under the circumstances.
I swear on our family's life, I am not guilty!
Oedipus, you must believe him. I can tell he tells the truth. He has sworn on our family.
What do you want me to do then? Go back on my word? Retract my statement?
Please change your mind, great leader.
Don't you understand what it is that you're asking me to do? Do you not remember my proclamation? By sparing him, you are asking that I punish myself!
This is not the time for our leaders to be fighting and despising each other.
Fine. Then let him go! But I hope that you will always remember the absolute hatred that I have for you.
Was that supposed to be an apology? Your anger is making you insane!
Get out!
I'm going! Thankfully our citizens respect me. It's only you who thinks ill of me.
Your Highness, please take him inside. Speak with him in private.
What caused them to quarrel? Who started it?
It was rumours which prompted all this anger and unproven allegations.
Tell me all that happened. Speak freely and without fear. There will be no repercussions.
We know it is best to remain silent on the matter.
Oh, your silence speaks volumes. I am now the guilty party.
We have no intention of requesting that you punish yourself. It would be madness to do so, without evidence and at a time like this. We need you.
Please tell me what Creon has done to provoke such anger so suddenly. Help me understand.
My love, I am shocked and disgusted at the scale of the conspiracy that your brother has built against me.
What conspiracy?
He says that I am responsible for Laius' death.
Has he any evidence?
Well, he doesn't say it himself. He put that blind liar Tiresias up to it. An expert. Ah!
And is that it? Oh, please calm down. No one can foretell the future. Trust me, I know this far too well. I have proof. When Laius was alive, an oracle told him that he would be killed by his own son, our child. But it didn't happen, did it? According to the report, Laius was killed by strangers, foreign robbers, at the place where 3 roads meet. As for our son, we had one of our servants take him to a deserted mountain when he was 3 days old and leave him there. His ankles were pierced and tied together with leather straps so that he couldn't escape. to prevent the prophecy from coming true. And as you can see, it didn't come true. Patricide didn't occur. Laius wasn't murdered by his own son. So there's no point listening to these supposed fortune tellers. Why are you looking at me in that way? What's the matter?
You said Laius was killed at a place where 3 roads meet.
That's what we've been told, a junction in focus at the turn off Adelphi.
How long ago did this happen?
The news came to us just before you arrived.
Gods!
Oedipus, you look terrified. What's wrong?
How old was Laius? What did he look like?
He was of similar build and appearance to you, but with greying hair.
Oh, God. Maybe Tiresias could see after all. One more thing. Who was with him? Was it just a handful of attendants or a whole cohort of soldiers and servants?
5 men, I am told.
Oh, God. Every detail is the same. How did you come by this information?
Well, there was one survivor. He managed to escape back here.
Where is he? Can I speak with him?
No. When he returned, he found things were very different. You were in Laius's place. He begged me to leave my service and become a shepherd so he could leave Thebes far behind. So I let him go. He was a good servant, in spite of all the trauma he'd experienced.
Please, send for him. I need to speak with him.
Yeah, of course, but why are you so anxious?
I shouldn't say any more until I've spoken to this shepherd and asked him some questions.
I will send for him, but please tell me why you are so frightened. I'm your wife. I have a right to know. Maybe I can help.
You do have a right to know. If the truth is what I think it is, you have a better right than anyone to know the whole truth. When I was a young man, growing up in Corinth with my parents, Polybus and Merope, one night, at a dinner, some drunken fool told me I was not their son. I was so shocked. I confronted my parents, almost compelling them to tell me the truth. They tried to reassure me, to put my mind at ease. They were so angry, but something like that. It lingers, gets under your skin. So, without telling anyone, I ran off to the oracle at Delphi to find out the truth. I got no answers to the questions I asked. Just a long list of horrors that I was destined to commit. I was doomed to marry my mother and father children with her, commit incest, and to add more horrific detail, I would kill my own father with these hands. But what could I do? I ran. I ran as far and as fast away from Corinth to make sure that prophecy could never come true. My route took me to that place where you say Laius was killed. Now listen, and this is the truth. I arrived at a point where 3 roads meet, where I met a man coming the other way, walking in front of a carriage. It had a passenger of similar build and appearance to me, but with greying hair. A man shouted at me to get out of the way. He was so rude. I was so angry. So I hit him. Then the driver, the grey-haired man, then hit me on the head with a stick you'd use for horses. I saw red. I whacked him with my staff and he fell down into the road. Of course, all the others present soon attacked me. But I killed them. Every single one. Now, if that grey-haired man was even remotely connected to Laius, then I am utterly remorseful. I cursed his murderer, and the weight of that curse now falls on me. I am the cause of this disease, this unclean thing. I deserve exile. But where can I go? I cannot return to Corinth because of the prophecy. I can't marry my mother and kill my father. These are the people who gave birth to me and raised me. I swear, this is all some cruel game devised by the gods for their own amusement. Well, if you are listening, I would deny you that pleasure. I'd rather die.
What you have just said is terrifying. Please do not give up hope, great leader. There was a witness, and until you have spoken to him, we do not know for certain.
Yes, that shepherd is my only hope.
When he gets here, what possible help could he be?
There's one detail. It is crucial. If his story confirms yours, then I am proved innocent.
What detail? What did I say?
You said Laius was killed by robbers. As in, plural. Well, if this shepherd confirms the same, then I am in the clear. If, however, he describes a single traveller, well, then obviously all the evidence will point at me.
I am certain he said robbers. He can't change his story now. He said it in public. Everybody heard him. Even if his story does change, by no stretch of the imagination can he pretend that Laius died as predicted. The oracle said a child of mine would kill him, but it didn't happen. Oh, my poor little boy, what did we do to you? You died long before you'd be able to kill anyone. So I wouldn't waste my time worrying about oracle predictions if I was you.
Yes, you are right, but please, send for this shepherd.
At once. We'll send for him at once. Now, come inside.
Arrogance, hubris, self-importance.
All these qualities breed a bad ruler.
A tyrant, the leader that seeks absolute power.
Who wastes money and people without a care until one day he overreaches himself and falls.
Falls from grace.
Falls from the pedestal.
Falls into the gutter.
On the other hand, the ambitious man. He serves the states but in a measured manner.
He abides by moral codes, laws, ethics.
He is the leader who pleases the gods. His people love him, and they prosper.
But there is a fine line between the two. Justice!
There should be justice!
Too often men grab what they want with no regard for the consequences.
And they get away with it. What happens if a murderer becomes a king? Will there be justice?
Here we stand in our darkest hour, waiting for justice to heal our lands. But it appears that the words of the oracle are slowly and purposefully being forgotten. What lays ahead of us if our leaders do not listen?
My dear citizens, not in his right mind. He is unable to make balanced judgments. With every new revelation in this investigation he is conducting, he takes it as the truth. He is unable to question its validity and becomes even more terrified. I have tried to comfort him, but I have failed. We live in the shadow of this curse. It affects us all. Help us to uncover the truth. This sickness has polluted our great land for long enough.
Is this King Oedipus's palace?
This is his palace. The king is currently inside, but this is his wife, Queen Jocasta.
Oh, I'm honoured to meet you.
What a wonderful greeting. It is an honour to meet you too.
I bring news, Your Highness, good news, for your husband and this whole family.
What is this news? Who sent you?
I come from Corinth. My message will be sad at first, but you will be pleased when you hear it.
One message, but with conflicting emotions. You must tell me.
The Corinthians plan to make Oedipus their king.
But Polybus rules Corinth and has done for years. Is he not still king?
Polybus is dead, Your Highness, dead and buried.
Polybus is dead? Oedipus's father is dead?
I'm not a liar!
You, quickly go and tell the king the news. Oh, where are your predictions now, Oracle? The one man Oedipus has stayed clear of for all these years is finally dead, and Oedipus had nothing to do with it.
Jocasta, what is going on?
My love, this man, he has a message for you. Listen and then tell me what you think of oracles and all their prophecies.
Who is he?
Your father, he is dead. Do you understand what I'm saying? Polybus is dead.
You! There! Tell me yourself, what happened?
Well, he died. That's pretty much it.
How did it happen? Was he murder? Was he sick?
I believe, due to his age, it was deemed to be natural causes.
Well then, Jocasta, you were right! All that stuff about me killing my own father, and it never happened. So Polybus is dead. And now so are all those silly prophecies!
And that was my prophecy. See, I was right all along. So you can forget it now. It's all over.
My mother. Well, she still lives. I still have that to fear.
Fear? No one can predict the future, so why fear it? Live, love life, live each day as it comes. As for marrying your mother, every little boy wants to be forever close to his mother. It's extremely common. If you keep brooding on this, your life just won't be worth living, believe me.
If the woman who brought me into this world is still alive, then I will be unable to celebrate. She still lives, so I will be afraid.
Do you mind me asking, who is this woman that scares you? What has she done?
Merope, the dead king's wife. I was once told a prophecy. A dreadful prophecy.
What was that prophecy?
It is no secret. I was told that I was doomed to marry my own mother and kill my own father. That is why I left Corinth and have stayed away all these years.
Oh, and is that the only reason?
It was enough. I was determined not to kill my own father.
Well, let me put your mind at rest once again. You've got it all wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, the fear you have that prevents you from coming back home, the fear about your parents and the deeds you might have done, well, it's all rather pointless. You've nothing to be scared of.
I I do not understand. If I am their son,
Who said they were your parents? Oedipus is not your father. He's no relation at all.
Oedipus was not my father.
No more your father than I am.
But he called me son.
Ah, that's because I gave you to him. He was unable to have a child and he'd always wanted one.
What was I then? Some unwanted orphan?
Oh, I found you on a mountain. I was a shepherd when I was younger up there. I saved your life.
Was I in danger?
No, but you were in pain. Take a look at your ankles. You can still see the signs of the swelling.
I've always had swollen ankles, since I was a child.
I know. Your ankles were tied together and nailed through. I set you free. How do you think you got the name Oedipus, which means swollen foot, doesn't it?
Who would do such a thing to a child?
I don't know. You might try asking the man who gave you to me.
But did you just find me? Who was he?
No, it was another shepherd. He asked me to look after you. Do you know, I think he was one of Laius's men.
Laius, the previous king.
Aye, that's right. I'm sure he used to work for him.
Where is he? Can I speak with him?
I think you should ask your own people that. They would know more than me.
Does anyone here know where this man is? Is he still alive? Can I speak with him? If anyone here knows the truth, please come forward. The time has come to solve this mystery, once and for all.
I think this man and the shepherds you have sent for are the same. But, ask the Queen. She is sure to know.
Jocasta, is this shepherd the man I have sent for?
What man? What does it matter? What difference does it make? None of it matters anymore. Forget it. The whole thing. Please don't pursue this anymore.
Forget it? There is no way I'll be able to forget it. My birth is a mystery. With all these clues, I intend to solve it.
So listen to me. Please listen to me if you want to stay alive. You must end this search.
Are you worried that it'll be discovered that I'm from a lowly family of no status? I must go on. I must find out the truth.
Yeah, I know, but you must listen to me. I'm saying it for your own good.
I'm also doing this for the service of the state.
Oh, God. You're doomed. And there's no escape. I pray you never discover who you truly are.
Someone, send for this shepherd immediately.
Oh. That's it. You're doomed. I am doomed. Oh.
Why has the Queen left so suddenly? Did you see? She became all emotional.
I don't like this atmosphere. Feels like the calm before a storm hits.
The storm? Well, let it come. I have travelled this far, and I am determined to find out who I really am. My wife is being a snob about my potential upbringing, but I will never feel ungrateful about where I came from. My mother is my mother, and my siblings are my siblings. There is no changing that. I am who I am. But who am I? I must know the truth.
I get the feeling almost as if I can see the future. And if I could predict it, I would say that a truth is dawning. That mountain where Oedipus was found holds the mystery. But how did he get there? And why? I'm sure we will find out soon enough.
My people, I think the man we have sent for is approaching. Is this the man you have seen before?
Yes, this is the man. He was Laius' attendant, I swear.
And now, my friend from Corinth. Is this the man you told me about?
It is.
And now you, old man, look me in the eye and answer me. Did you work for King Laius?
I was mostly a shepherd, sir.
Ah, and our friend here. Have you seen him before?
I'm not sure I understand, sir. How would I know him?
Look again. Look closer. Are you sure you have had no dealings with this man previously?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Oh, of course he's forgotten. Perhaps I can help you. We were up on that mountain together. 3 seasons we were there. Then I went back to Corinth and you came back here. Now, wasn't that right?
Oh. Perhaps, but it was a long, long time ago.
Well, you remember that baby you gave me to look after and bring up as my own? Well, that baby has now a grown man. This is that baby.
Shh! Keep quiet. Keep your mouth shut.
Now! There is no need for that tone. You are more deserving of a sharp reprimand than our friend here.
Why? What have I done wrong, sir?
You haven't given a straight answer to a simple question. He was asking you about the child.
He doesn't understand.
Now listen! If you will not speak, I can compel you to talk.
Don't hurt me. I'm an old man, sir. What do you want to know?
He was asking you about the child. Was it you who gave it to him?
Yes, it was me. I wish I'd died that day.
You will get your wish of death soon enough if you do not tell me the truth.
No, it was me. What do you want?
Where did the child come from? Was it your child?
Why would I give my own child away? It came from someone else.
Who? Someone local? Someone here?
I beg you, sir, please don't ask me that.
I am asking! And if I have to ask again, you are as good as dead!
They say it was born in Laius' house.
To one of the servants or a member of the royal family?
I'm on the edge, sir. Must I answer that?
We are both on the edge! I need to hear you say the words.
They say the child was Laius's. But you should ask the Queen. She'd be able to tell you more.
You mean she gave it to you?
Yes, sir.
Why? For what purpose?
To kill it, sir. There was a prophecy that said the child would kill his own father.
Then why did you give it to this man here?
I couldn't do it, sir. I couldn't kill it. It was only 3 days old. So feeble looking. So I thought I'd take it away and everything would be all right. So I gave it to our friend here and saved its life. And now, here we find ourselves. Sir, if you are the child my friend here took to Corinth, you've been marked for suffering from the day you were born.
All of it. I know all of it now. Nothing left to find. It has all come true. Every detail. My birth. Crime! My marriage. A crime. And the greatest crime of all. These hands killed my own father. I see it all now!
truth has been revealed. The curtain drawn back. We have seen Oedipus the King brought to his knees in misery and suffering. It was his destiny. Has there ever been a reversal of fortune more terrible than this? How can a man endure such horrendous agony? Oh, Oedipus, how you found yourself with Jocasta as both son and husband.
Citizens, people of Thebes, if you have any feeling toward our royal family, you will not be able to hold back your tears when you hear what has just happened. The palace is now a sight of so much horror. In there, atrocious acts have been committed. This family is cursed forever.
Haven't we seen enough suffering today? What more is there?
Where to begin? Queen Jocasta is dead. She killed herself.
What happened?
When Jocasta left here, she rushed into the palace and straight to her bedroom. She slammed the door and locked herself in. It was only when Oedipus broke in that we found she was dead. He had been ranting and raving in the corridor outside, screaming at her. Suddenly, he threw his whole weight at the door and it gave way. That's when we saw her. She hanged herself. Oedipus ran to her and lowered her in a slow embrace, howling over her dead body. And then the unexpected happened. Suddenly, Oedipus grabbed the two brooches that were pinned to her dress and blinded himself with them. He was howling. No longer shall these eyes see the atrocious acts I have committed. No longer shall these eyes see those I should never have loved. These are the punishments the cursed couple faced together. You know, they were so happy and content for many years. They were considered fortunate by those who met them. But from today, they'll be forever known as that wretched family full of horror, pain, and grief. It will make their names notorious forever.
Has Oedipus found relief, or does his pain continue?
He is yelling for someone to unbolt the palace doors and let him out, so that all can see the father killer and the mother. Well, I shouldn't say the rest of the word in public. It's too repulsive. He is pleading to be kicked out of the city, thrown into exile as he previously decreed. But he can no longer see. Poor man. You'll see for yourself. Here he comes. Pity him. I would not wish this on my worst enemy.
Oh, pain! Oh, the awful pain! These wounds sting, but memory aches of searing shame. My people, friends, are you there? Do not abandon me. Please be loyal, be kind. Stay with me even though I am blind. I have no eyes to see you, but I know you were there by the sounds of your voices.
Your eyes. What possessed you to do this?
The oracle's words. But these eyes were blinded by my own hand. Why should I have eyes? But no longer could any sight bring me joy.
That is true, though it pains me to agree.
Waste no more time. Take me from this place! No one has ever been more damned. There should be no pity for the man that all men curse. Damn that person who cut those bindings from my ankles that day. Their mercy only made things worse. I should have died there. Instead, my name will live on forever. My father's killer, my mother's husband and child, father and brother, born to bring suffering and to suffer. There is no horror that could top this shame. It is mine alone. I am Oedipus!
Your own actions have brought blindness and exile on your own head.
My recent actions are for the best. Don't you dare tell me otherwise. How could I look someone in the face if I were to meet them in the street? Laius' killer, the unclean cause of this disease. Oh, Olympus and Merope, the parents who raised me. I loved, thought of you as my parents. Did you ever imagine what a corrupt and disgusting human being I would become? Rotten to the core! Those 3 roads where Laius was killed still haunts me. When I arrived in Thebes, those acts I committed, taking my father's wife as my own, giving her children, an act so disgusting, it should never be spoken of. My friends, are you still there? Do not draw back. You do not need to hide. My curse is not contagious. It is mine alone. I must bear the guilt and the punishment.
Creon is coming. He will deal with you. He will now become our leader in the interim.
Of course. It's as it should be. I've treated him with such contempt. He will barely listen to me speak.
I haven't come to row or gloat, Oedipus. Have you no respect for human feelings? Out here in the open is no place for such an unclean thing, even if he is cursed and sentenced to be cast out. Take him inside. His suffering should not be aired in public. It should be kept private and amongst family.
Thank you, Creon, for your mercy. More than I deserve. For your sake. Not mine. May I ask one favour?
What do you want?
Get rid of me quickly! Cast me out! Send me to some foreign wasteland where the human voice is never heard.
I could have done that, of course, but it seems wiser to consult the oracle concerning our next steps.
But the oracle's orders were clear. Cast out the unclean thing. I am that man!
True, but these are extraordinary circumstances. It seems wiser to get some clarity first.
The punishment has been set. What more is there to ask?
This time, I think you will pay greater attention to the oracle's commands.
Please, may I ask just one more thing? Jocasta's body. Bury her decently. You are her brother, her flesh and blood. You owe her that much. As for me, send me back to that mountain that I was meant to die on as a child. This time, I will die. Now to my children. My sons are old enough to look after themselves, but my daughters, they're still so small and helpless. They've never been without their father's company before.
I know how much you loved them, and love them still, in spite of everything.
Thank you for your mercy, Creon. May you succeed as ruler where I have failed. Tell my daughters, I know the horrible things that people will say about them, but I pray they have a better life than their father has had. My infamy will stick to my children and my children's children. You must be their father now as our next of kin. You are all they have. Do not abandon them. Do not condemn them to share the same fate as me. Promise me!
I promise. Now enough of this spectacle. You must go inside.
Send me into exile!
Don't give me orders! Your power-mad days are over! You must learn to obey my orders now. Now go!
Our fellow citizens,
As for our current situation, we wait to see if the plague subsides.
In the meantime, we must try remain safe, keep our distance, wear our masks, and above all, wash your hands.
we have rooted the cause of our suffering, only to discover much greater suffering.
You have all seen Oedipus the King. He was the most powerful and fortunate of all men.
But he was blind to the truth.
He tried to change his fate. Now a tidal wave of horror swirls around him.
No man can ever be called truly fortunate until he has reached his final resting place.
Thank you.